about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics.
Remember, YouTube, it is Tuesday, so you know what that means. Time for my new comic book day recommendations, where I get you hip to what I think are going to be the best comics coming out this coming Wednesday, and some of the stuff that came out recently that you can get right now at your local comic book store. So let's start, as always, with what I really dug from last week. Starting off with Witchblade number 15 from Image Comics. I love this alternate cover. It really is a throwback to the first run of Witchblade in the 90s. Beautiful cover, and the A cover is stellar too. I actually went back and ordered that on my next order because it was just a great cover as well. Completely different aesthetic. You'll see that in next week's unboxing. Next we have Blade Runner Black Lotus Las Vegas. Very good book. Ended with a heck of a cliffhanger. And I love Blade Runner personally because it's my favorite comic book universe. And Black Lotus is the series that got me into Blade Runner. I started off with the Black Lotus cartoon on Adult Network. Then they did the first run of Black Lotus from Titan Comics. And this is continuing from that. Black Lotus, Las Vegas, Titan Comics, check it out. Vampirella Armageddon. I am really a big fan of this book. It is one of my most anticipated books because I'm a big fan of Vampirella. But I'm not a big fan of the writer currently doing the main run of Vampirella. His writing style just doesn't hit me in my sensibilities. And so it's nice to have a Vampirella title that I can enjoy. And don't take my critique of the author as gospel. Like I always say, everybody has an opinion, and everybody's opinion are both right and wrong. So take that for what it is. And that's from Dynamite Comics. And also, The War, number 3. It's written by Garth Ennis, who is known for The Boys, Jennifer Blood. And this is a horror comic that actually started off in the Boom Studios Hello Darkness horror anthology. And it is about World War. And the brutality and realism is what makes it a horror movie. You get to know all these characters, before the war kicks off, and you get to see in real time them go from this civilization that's functioning to just trying to survive in a war zone that just days earlier was normal. Great, great book. So that's what's in stores right now. Let's get to what's coming out this coming week on the 22nd. So we have Avatar, the Gap Year Tipping Point number 1 from Dark Horse Comics. I'm not a big fan of Avatar. I haven't seen the movie, so it's not a criticism. But I know it's a popular intellectual property, so go check that out if you're a fan of Avatar. If you're looking to get into comic books and you're a fan of Avatar, this would be a great starting point. It's the number 1 issue, so you don't have to catch up on lore. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077, Psycho Squad, trade paperback. Now, I read this series. It is one of my favorite series from this year. Every issue had you questioning who was the protagonist, who was the antagonist, what is right, what is wrong. Great action, but more than that, it made you think. And it really made you question your own morality, which is something you wouldn't expect from, a cyberpunk comic book. We have another popular intellectual property, Terminator Metal number 1 from Dynamite Comics. This is in the Terminator universe, if you're a big fan of that. And then we have, what else is coming out? Exquisite Corpses, number 6 from Image Comics. It is a horror survival comic, brilliant writing, all kinds of just colorful and psychotic characters. Really as far as the art goes, it's very eye-catching. The writing is very deep, and it's taking its time telling the story. Check it out if you haven't. The trade paperback for the first few issues just released a couple of weeks ago. And then we have Gunslinger Spawn number 48 from Image/Todd McFarlane Productions. That's a personal favorite of mine, along with really everything in the Spawn universe. Speaking of Spawn, we have King Spawn number 50, also from Image/Todd McFarlane Productions. And then we have a special edition of Hello Darkness from Boom Studios. It is called Hello Halloween number 1 from Boom Studios. So it looks like we're going to be getting a Halloween themed special book for Hello Darkness. So I might even check that out. I don't follow Hello Darkness. I read number 1 and bought a couple more issues, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm not too big into horror. But I might indeed get that one. And then we have It Killed Everyone But Me from Mad Cave Comics. This book right here, I really enjoyed it. It is a horror book. One thing I noted in my review of it is that it looks a lot like Something Is Killing the Children because they share the same artist. But it's still its own story. I really enjoyed it. The writing holds up. Even with a completely different art, the writing is strong, and a lot of people love that sketch art style. I like it. The same artist did Children of the Black Sun, and what they did is they kept the same art style as Something Is Killing the Children, but they changed the color palette to differentiate it. Here, the art style and the color palette are identical to Something Is Killing the Children, but the story is wholly new, flows different, reads different. A great book. Mad Cave Comics has been my breakout all-star of the year. And then we have Speed Racer Atlas from the Road number 1 from Mad Cave Comics for you Speed Racer fans. So that's what's going to be coming out tomorrow. Get to your local comic book store, support your local comic book store. If you do not have a local comic book store, I always have 2 places I suggest: coffeeandacomic.com. They send you out free, fresh ground coffee with every order, and they ship fast nationwide with great shipping prices. Or I got this order, Midtown Comics. They have the widest selection, slightly discounted prices. The shipping may take a little bit longer, but you don't have to worry about what you want and what you need being in stock. If it drops, they have it, and they have plenty of copies on MidtownComics.com. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading books. You know I'm going to. I'm out.